In this video, we're going to be taking a look at a real simple little project of personalizing an existing design with some text. We're also going to show you some new features here inside EasyStone and a couple little CorelDRAW tips that's always good to know when you're designing in CorelDRAW. So let's go to our Fonts tab and open up our Font Finder, and in here at the bottom you're going to see some additional features. And one of those features is the Text to Path feature, and that's what we're going to be focusing on in this video. So what we're going to do is zoom in here a little bit and create a path using our 3-point curve tool. Let's go ahead and set our path to 10 points, make it nice and thick, and begin drawing. So we'll go ahead and draw. And there you can see our path, that first segment. And then we just keep going. And what I'm doing, I'm going to go from the end. Do you see that little down arrow that shows up? That's going to connect and continue the path. Okay? So we'll go ahead and make another little segment, just snapping to the center points of stones along the existing design. How far you go is really up to you. I'm going to go up and around and through. Okay? And then what we're going to do is we're also going to connect to the bottom, just to show you that you can do this. We're not actually going to use this part of the path in this project, but I just wanted to show you how easy it is to kind of follow along the existing design. Okay? So then we're going to go ahead and grab our text tool here and type out some text. In my case, I'm going to type out HMS High School. That's the name of the local high school here in my town. So there we go. There's HMS High School. Okay? Now we're going to change this into a Rhinestone font. So that's what's great about Font Finder here. We have all of our Rhinestone fonts listed here in the Rhinestone font tab. And we're going to be changing our fonts that we make to enable you to design easier with them. So first of all, let's change this to the font that we're going to use, which I'm going to use the EST AKC, which is our athletic keychain font. Okay. Now, the challenge, of course, when you're working with fonts, the Rhinestone fonts, is we need these circle sizes to be a specific size. They can't just be any random size. So what we've done here is we're going to kind of rework all of our fonts to include this, but right here is a series of numbers. And what this is telling you is 900 points, 715 points, 530 points. Okay, so SS16, SS10, SS6. So what that says is 530. If we change our point size in CorelDRAW to 530, then we know that the circle size for our HMS High School text is perfectly set for SS6 stones. And we're going to prove that here a little bit later, but just know that's what that does. Okay? So now the next thing to take a look at is, does this text look the way we want it to look? And for me, the word spacing is a little bit too much. Okay? So there's an easy way to adjust this. If we just click on our text, and what we can do here is come over to text spacing, and that gives us these two little control handles, right? And what we can do here is if we grab a control handle and go to the right, see how it increases the spacing between the letters? If we, of course, drag it to the left, you can see how it decreases the spacing between the letters, right? Well, if we hold our Shift key down, and this is the little CorelDRAW tip I was telling you about, if we hold the Shift key down and then move the handle, look at there, it changes the word spacing. Okay? So we'll go something like that. Perfect. Okay, so now the text looks the way I want it to look. So now what we're going to do is select our text. I'm going to give it a different color just so we can see it better. But we're going to select our text, hold our Shift key, and select the path. And then click on this button right here, Text to Path. And you can see it just slaps it right on there. Now, it looks a little goofy at this moment, right? Because it's going in a direction that we don't want it to go. So what we can do is, because that text is now on a path, you have some new options up here. So if we flip it, this mirror text horizontally, then mirror it vertically, now you can kind of see the high school looks like it's supposed to, but HMS not so much, right? and that's because we're on the inside of the path. So it's difficult to see here in the video, but when you try this, you'll see it probably pretty plainly. There's a little control handle right here, and if we click on that control handle and drag, you can see now we're able to modify where this text goes along the path. In fact, we can just click on the text itself. We don't actually have to grab that control handle and do the same thing. Okay, so once we have the text position, now you can see how we can actually move it all along this path. You come way out here, you can just move it wherever you want that text to be on the path. Now in this case, it doesn't look very good at those sharp corners. I just wanted to show you how the tool works. Okay, so I'm actually going to just zoom out a little bit so we can see this a little bit more. So again, we can grab that text and we can position it wherever we want to along that path. It's a very, very useful tool here. So I'm just going to go ahead and position it where I want it relative to the existing design. And that looks pretty good. Now there is an issue back over here. You can see where the two O's are a little bit too close together. So that is something that we would have to repair. So let's go into wireframe mode. I just think it's easier to see this in wireframe mode. And you see these little dots right here? These are little control handles, if you will. Now actually, when you look a little closer at the text, you can see actually there's quite a few letters that are a little bit too close together. So let's see if we can fix that up just by tweaking the space from the design a little bit. And yeah, actually that does improve it some, but not exactly what I want. So let's just put the text where we want it, relative to the design, and then let's just make those changes that we need to make. So we go over to our shape tool here, and HMS looks pretty good. I might just pull this H down as long as we're tweaking things. And the I might just move it over a little bit. The G, I think we'll just leave it. Maybe I'll pull it this way. Move that H over a little bit. School, the S and the C look pretty good. The H looks good. This first O, maybe it's a little bit tight. So all we're doing is just nudging it, and it's going to follow the path. That's the beauty of it. So it's going to keep our curvature and everything, and so you can see how that is automatically turning that L to follow the path just like we want it to. There we go. So that cleans that up just fine. Let's go back to enhance mode, and now you can see the text looks just exactly like we want it to. Now here's what I would do. I would take this and make a copy of it. So we're just going to select the whole thing, left click and drag, right click, and make a copy of it. And the reason that you want to do that is because the next time somebody wants a design, like, you might do something like, I don't know, Michael's mom, okay? And rather than have to, do the whole text to path thing or whatever, so now we can just cut out this text if we want to do that way, and we don't have to, do all the work over again. All right, so we still have a little bit of work to do. What we're going to do is we're going to click on our text and then click on our text again, and then we're going to come over here and choose a break apart or rhinestone text. And what that does is gives us individual little circles. Okay, we're going to go ahead and delete our path because we don't need that anymore. And all we're going to do now is select all of our blue circles. So let's go to the Selections tab and mark that one blue circle, and then pick up all the blue circles, and we're going to change the stone size. Now the reason we're doing this, let me just show you what's happening here. A lot of the fonts that you buy, the circles, just because of the nature of the way the font is made, are not perfect circles. Okay, so you can see here it's a little bit odd shaped. So what we're going to do is, because we have all these blue circles selected, we're going to hit resize replace, and it's just going to replace all those odd circles with perfect circles. You see that? Now they're all perfect circles. So now that we have all those selected, finally we're going to reset the stone color for those. So we'll do the rename and fill because we already had crystals selected for the stone color. And that's basically it. So now we can go ahead and produce this layout. I would go ahead and delete that old weed box. We'll create a new one. I always do a 1-inch weed box. So 25 millimeters. And there you see, we have the finished product. So pretty easy to customize existing designs with some text. So have a nice selection of TrueType fonts where you can add these little touches. And I hope you enjoyed this video and learned a little something. I hope you try this little project out and just take a design and modify it this way. And I think you'll find that these additional tools here in EasyStone will be really nice additions. Thanks for watching.